been so long, almost 5 months, I think, that I've really played competitively, and I knew that once I come here, it's going to be cameras. And I'm the defending champion, so there might be some expectations coming from the fans, but to be honest, I didn't really let it bother me. When my focus is on, I prove to myself that I can really get things done, so that was really nice.
I thought a lot about last year, obviously a tough end for me. I love playing it, it's fun to be out here. I feel more confident about my game than I did even last year. Definitely memories, but proud as well, not just negative.
I cannot overthinking putting too much. I try to just let it go, I have to play full drive, lay up. So tomorrow you're gonna see a super boring golf from me. Like I said, I need to stack up some score here because tomorrow is gonna be boring golf for me.
Hello and welcome to round 2 of 4 of the Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Prodigy, the first DGPT Plus event of the year and our first 4-round event of the year as well. We are at a new course today. Beast yesterday, Lake Waco today. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two hot geese.
Honk.
The plus events just means there's more points available that helps you qualify for the Pro Tour Championship. So everyone trying to do really well out here this weekend on this brand new, pretty wet course.
Yes.
Own Scoggins, 92% Circle 1X putting, 80% fairway hits, and landing in the circle 61% of the time, and she is deadly from Circle 2.
Ella Hansen in a tie right now for the lead, I believe, at Circle with 75% Circle 1X putting, 75% fairway hits, and 61% Circle 2 in regulation.
I believe Owen has her by one.
That's
Kristin, Tattar, 80% fairway hits, 100% scramble. That's amazing at the Beast. And landing in Circle 2 67% of the time.
And last but not least, Natalie Ryan going to be the 4th competitor on our card, 100% Circle 1 putting, 60% fairway hits, also very impressive at the Beast, and 50% Circle 2 in regulation. This is an entirely different type of course, though. So all the strong skill sets you had from yesterday, you don't really need anymore.
Entirely different. Hole 1 is a par 4, 698 feet. You can see the out-of-bounds lines both sides. A common mistake is probably going to be to have one hyzer out towards the left side. You're going to see some forehands maybe, or just some turnover backhands. At 698, I feel like most women are going to take a little bit off the first shot and then land in Circle 2 on the second shot. It takes a pretty big drive to be able to get there for an easy putt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2024 Prodigy presents the Waco Annual Charity Open. It is now time for our 10:05 tee time and the FPO lead card. First on the tee, give her a big round of applause representing Innova Champion Discs, Own Scoggins!
Own 8 down yesterday. I believe that was 1,008 rated, which is pretty crazy. Nope, 1016.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like the forehand play here. There is out of bounds on the right-hand side that I think most people are worried about, but it can come into play really quickly, too, on the left side with the right to left down slope.
I actually think that tree saved her.
Yeah, you're right.
I think she also thinks that.
Give her a big round of applause. It's Ella Hansen!
I wonder if Ella is maybe more excited about this one than some of the others just because she was so close last year.
I think so. I feel like in her game yesterday, there was another level of focus.
She's hungry. Love the forehand from her. Super safe, great width.
Third on the tee, representing Latitude 64. Let's give her a big round of applause. Kristin Tattar!
Kristin opting for the backhand here. It's a little bit of a scary backhand. You really do have to hug those trees to the right unless you've got a really good flex shot. But she's going to work a hyzer flip and just hope for it to lay down.
Yeah, this is where it starts to get a little tricky, but that was her Orbit St. Pro, which she's great at hyzer flipping and pushing pretty straight.
Representing Neptune Disc. Give her a big round of applause. It's Natalie Ryan.
Does Natalie throw forehands very much?
Yeah,
she does occasionally.
She's got a good forehand.
Yeah.
I think not off the tee as much, but she's
Not
got
distance.
She can,
Yeah.
but I think just more comfortable with the backhand.
And I really like this working the left side with a flippier disc, but oh, it didn't turn.
No.
Oh,
Saved by the tree.
really nice tree.
Ladies, have a great round.
I like the play that you said, but that just didn't turn enough. But it was kind of it was a tailwind-ish.
Why can I not remember this? Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
a tailwind. But real light.
Yeah, but you could feel it.
The round today was generally a light wind, but you noticed it, especially as we moved
Towards the
into the
end.
back nine.
Owen just gonna lay up. I don't think she ever does boring golf, so she's always doing
I
something
know.
weird.
I feel like she was like, "Oh, I'm going to play boring golf every single round at D-Glow last year," and then she
And then
won
she
by
won.
like a
Oh my
million.
gosh, that is true. I think there's an interview of that.
Yeah.
Kristin making this look way too easy with that forehand.
There is a green over on the right side, just to the right of that little ant mound that Natalie's disc is flying over right now. But she pushes into circle one.
There's kind of a stretch of par threes later that are not ungettable, but they're, very difficult. So I feel like 1 and 2, you're thinking you got to get at least one of those.
Yep. Ella, a little more height on it than she wants, but it works out great. Gets through those branches and drops down right at around 15 or 20 feet.
Oh, just chipping up. Perfect. Little koozie hit.
This hole was right in the middle of the pack on difficulty, averaging about a quarter of a stroke over par.
That's like my favorite distance putt to make on hole 1 because it not
Like a
too
confidence
far. Yeah, it's a
builder.
confidence builder, but
not
it's
false
not like, oh,
confidence.
that's really far. I don't want to have to make that, and then you feel stressed. Natalie comes up a bit short on hers.
Kristin, no nonsense birdie, just outside the bullseye. One of only 7 today out of the 48 competitors in the field.
It's going to be interesting to see the stats, I'm sure, improve the last day unless it's crazy weather. A lot of women only got 1 or 2 practice rounds out here. Or all competitors,
Yeah.
I guess. Not specifically women. And just like that, Ella is tied with Own. So much fire on the scorecard. All the little emojis.
Hole 2, our first water carry of a handful we have out here, 590 feet. You just want to make sure you avoid this little tree and pump something out into this field. You have room to hyzer, so you can go big here if you want. The further you get, obviously, the closer you get to this green. There is OB that hugs all the way down the left-hand side, pinching in right next to the basket. You can go around the right side of these trees on the right of the green and hyzer in. You can throw a forehand. I think that's a great play if you have it, but it can stretch out to anywhere from 275 to 320, depending on where your drive lands.
This is definitely going to be the most typical play, going wide right, hyzering in.
That's way out there.
Yeah. That was a swirly S-line DD3.
This plate is the easiest hole on the course.
Yeah. It's, definitely a musket. That second shot can be just a bit tricky if you try to throw the straight backhand, I think. I think, as you were saying, the skip hyzer around the tree or the forehand are the play. Own with that flippy yellow destroyer. Gets way out there. Natalie also with the destroyer. It looks like the same one she threw on the last hole. Gets this one to turn a bit more. And that's a huge shot.
There were only 5 holes that averaged under par on this course. Everyone else, all the other holes were averaging over par. This played a lot more difficult than the Beast.
Did we talk about the rain delay?
We didn't.
Yeah, so we teed off, was it 40 or 50 minutes? 40 minutes later. It was raining still a little bit for the first cards, and it was cooler. So everyone's wearing pants and long sleeves, and there will be regrets halfway through.
It got sweltering hot out there and really humid.
Yeah. Kristin with a great forehand layup. Look how close Ella is. She's like almost bringing that OB green into play.
Yeah, just
off
a little,
the drive.
just a little chip. Something that, most people are not even thinking about.
Oh, man. That's almost in jump putt range.
Mm-hmm. Look at that wind kind of picking up. Oh.
Ah, great line. Everyone nice and close. Looking for the birdie.
About half the field landed in Circle 1 regulation, and 80% of the field landing in at least Circle 2. So there was a lot of putting on this hole happening for birdie.
Owen with a solid one. Not boring at all.
Ella in for birdie as well.
2 for 2.
That's how you want to start this course, and you can.
Little nervy. Natalie misses low. Yeah, this one doesn't feel the best to par. Hole 3, though, the next one, is one that the big arms can get, whereas the littler arms are thinking par.
Yeah, this is definitely different than the Beast. You're not attacking every hole. You are having a game plan where you attack the holes you know you can get, and the rest of them your game plan is to play for par.
Yeah. Hole 3 is a par 4, 662. You can go straight across like this drone is flying, but sometimes that OB on the left can come into play if you hyzer out. You see a lot of turnovers more to the right, and then splitting the hole up a little bit more. Big shots will land here, which is crazy, and then you can approach. Second shots from like a shorter drive we might see from Owen potentially are going to land short of that golf green, and then it's just a little hyzer backhand chip shot up to the green. There is out of bounds within the circle, so especially if the ladies are attacking on the second shot, they have to be careful of the ground play in case they skip OB.
Here's our first chase card check-in with Haley King.
And that's the
I
turnover.
believe she's on third card, actually.
Yeah.
And
how do you know?
Putting together, well, from my view on chase card. But look, she's already strung together 2 birdies, 2 for 2, just like Ella. And look at her second shot on the green.
And she started this round, 2 down? But I mean, very quickly is right there in the mix.
Wow, 3 for 3.
Yeah. What a dream.
Nice little buffer.
Ella with that same swirly S-line DD3, and that is a really common tree getting hit. You're kind of aiming either right for that gap or even to the right of it if you're just playing for par. Owen just being safe, getting it across. Hits the same tree.
Kristin with that right gap, squeaking by the tree. And it really does make a big difference, though. You're a little bit wider, and you can see where you need to throw more clearly. Being under that tree is pretty brutal.
Yeah, I like this right side gap that Kristin and Natalie are both taking. There's no real danger of out of bounds once you get past the tree, versus the left side, you can get a little squirrely.
At 662, it seems like this is something that would be in reach for everyone in the FPO field, but it does play uphill, and the second shot stretches out pretty good.
Yeah, it's just that final angle at the end. If you're too far back, it's nearly a right angle.
And Owen doing exactly what Erika said, laying up in front of the green and just having a little chip up to our green.
Ella definitely wanting to get this one with a good drive, but has to concede to the layup here.
With a really smart play. Not trying to do the hero shot, which, I mean, I feel like she could get it up there for a putt if she wanted
just
to.
Dangerous. You can see that golf green there, which I totally mentioned in the flyover.
Yep. And the OB behind the basket is so close.
Natalie actually looking at it. That's definitely a luxury. That looks a little wide.
Still not an easy shot. You can see she's a little scared. She's thinking about that OB on the left side because if you come in hot, you can find it so easily.
Yeah, she's going to be pretty deep in circle 2 coming back at it and back towards the out of bounds. Own just chopping this hole up into little tiny bite-sized pieces. Sit down.
Whoa. Oh, and also the master of the skip. She, I mean, played that just with the perfect speed.
And you have to be
Did
when
it
you
sit
throw
down?
destroyers.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. You can't have wild skips if you're going to throw destroyers all of the time.
I just would never want to be skipping that close.
Yeah, well, she
did it perfect.
Different breed.
Uh-huh. Ella just jump putts up, taking the par. There were 4 birdies today. Natalie with the look.
Oh, man. Strong bid. Kristin from what, like 55, something like that?
Oh, man. Great line. Just a little short. Evelina Salonen, Kat Merch, and Missy Gannon were the other 3.
Ooh,
along
big
with
arm
Haley
Missy.
King. Uh-huh. Missy made a big putt.
Missy's kind of my hero for that reason.
And a few tap-ins on hole 3, and we head into our first par 5 of the day. What a way to start out. At the Beast, I feel like you're playing just kind of easier chippy holes in the first 3, and this one, it's immediately out of the gate 3 par 4s that are, you know, some of the easiest on the course, but difficult.
What is the simplest way to improve your disc golf game? The answer, learn from the very best. Paul Ulibarri, Simon Lizotte, Ezra Aderhold, and Holland Hanley. They're not just players, they are your elite coaches guiding you every step of the way. The Power Disc Golf Academy is the premier online disc golf academy with over 150 on-demand lessons that are specifically designed to improve your skills right now. So what are you waiting for? Join today at PowerDGA.com.
And look at this par 5. This tee shot is wild. You can do 2 things, lay up over here in the tall grass on the left, or shoot this tunnel and hopefully not hyzer out into that water that's out of bounds. There's also out of bounds all the way down the right-hand side from the tee all the way to the basket. There's a few different options here on your second or third shot. You can try to get into this gap. There's also a risky gap around the right side carrying OB where you can hyzer into this green. Don't go too far though, because there's out of bounds maybe 20, 25 feet behind the basket. And it's the type of OB where you do not get your disc back.
So this, I think Ella was trying to do the left side play. That was a slower disc, Color Glow P3X.
We'll call it the layup play.
Yeah, the layup play is definitely like kind of a sawed-off hyzer over here. Own flirting with those branches and not quite as far as you want, but it's just fine.
Yeah, as long as you're left of that clump of trees,
Yeah.
you're cool.
So cool. Kristin taking the shot that it looks like you're supposed to take. And it works great if you hit it. It's just a more difficult shot to hit.
And you can kind of find some funky footing over there as well because it's downhill and you're having to throw kind of back uphill.
And then from over there, you're throwing parallel to the water. That's why we're seeing so many layup plays. That's unbelievable.
Wow.
That's huge from Natalie.
Natalie's little hops off the front of the tee pads. Like she's going as big as she can.
Yeah.
And like having to jump off.
The layup play, you're throwing kind of at the OB perpendicular to it and then fading left. So I would say it's pretty split who's doing what.
Yep.
50-50.
Yeah, I think more people are doing the layup than I thought would. But Owen going, she's biting off a lot here.
So boring.
That's an amazing shot.
That was really good.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's only probably 320 or 330, but just such a narrow area of OB, and it's so punishing because if you don't cross, you have to take it from the short side.
And you see it, even Kristin didn't get that aggressive with her bigger tee shot.
Ella's third. She's going to probably try to go huge here, but it's scary. Look at that right to left down sloping fairway. You got to land something soft.
That looks great. Yeah, lined up really well into that gap. Natalie's second. Whoa. Turns it over.
Oh, no.
I don't think that was in. I don't think she'll get to progress very far.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see where she last crossed. So where Kristin is, she's opting for the sidearm. It's a weird, scary gap, and these trees are mean on either side of the gap, but she
Actually, it's easy.
Yeah.
That was super good.
Wow. But there is a hyzer line over there too that I saw some people take today.
Risky though.
So risky.
Over out of bounds the whole way. Natalie progressing a little farther than I thought. Yeah.
She goes big on that run up. I feel like you don't need that much there.
Yeah, that was a really powerful shot for only, 200 feet?
Yep.
Maybe 175? Actually, that might be her pig. I was going to say, might be throwing a destroyer, but that's a pig. I think a lot of ladies throwing putter there.
Mm-hmm.
Here is the right side over out of bounds play. You can see it's wide open. It's just, you're thrown from the same spot if you don't do it right.
Natalie, after that out of bounds stroke, is going to have to settle for bogey at best.
Which does suck with how good her drive was.
Mm-hmm. Ella with a nice clean par.
Good save after that early tree hit on the right from the tee.
There were only 5 birdies on this hole today. This was in the top 4 most difficult holes.
That's a solid connection from Natalie. Looks like she's getting that putter dialed.
I thought this hole was actually going to eat people up a lot worse than it did. Half the field got a bogey or worse, but I really thought that it could potentially destroy people, like a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places where you can find strokes and just get into trouble.
Yeah, if you have to throw over the water a couple of times. There's a few holes out here like that.
Yeah, it's a very punishing course, a very stark difference from the Beast.
Not a bad contrast. I think we'll see a lot of changes if this course sticks around. But, not bad for the first year out here.
First go round.
We're learning. Look at Haley King, 3 down through 4.
And Owen playing boring golf to get another huge birdie.
Hole 5 is a par 3, 340 feet uphill. This is a hard one to reach. It's probably the best way to do it is a big turnover backhand that turns into this gap here. Most good shots going to land in circle 2. I think we'll see some birdie looks from our lead card ladies here, but I would be surprised if there was more than a couple birdies today. Ooh, Haley King third card check-in. Wow. Just that easy. And that puts her at 4 down through 5. Jeez.
Sorry, I'm trying not to give spoilers while talking about Haley's shots. With these chase card check-ins, we are getting used to them and we love them.
Yeah, it is really cool to see what everyone else is doing.
That's a great shot from Kristin. You do want to throw something that has a little bit of turn, and that's going to be probably the most common landing zone. Is right there at the entrance of those little yuccas.
Which is probably, 45?
Mm-hmm. Ella doesn't quite... Oh, yeah, she does.
Yeah, it's a Metal Flake FD. It's pretty flippy. It had all of the speed to get there, just catches that little guardian tree. Natalie going really high here with that same destroyer we've seen her throw.
I can't get over the jumps off the front.
Yeah.
I like her problem solving there.
Little parkour.
Yeah. Owen from probably about 50 feet, maybe 55. Only 1 player got into four people got into circle 1 in regulation.
Ooh. Oh, man, that was so close.
Nasty nubs.
Oh, man. When's the last time we saw Jomez? This is a good one. I thought that was in.
It was in. It was all the way in.
There it is. Ooh,
Oh
nubbed.
my goodness.
Dang.
There are some tall nubs on these Prodigy baskets. Ella having to straddle from around 40.
Dang, that also looked good.
Kristin with the final birdie opportunity on the card.
Looks like maybe 38 feet, we'll call it. A little low right.
Yeah, 50% of the field got into circle 2 in regulation, but there was only 2 birdies on the day.
It's just so uphill, and then the gap is pretty narrow, very late in the hole. Pretty tough. Any other birdies?
Yeah, just 2. Haley King.
And Madison Walker. Big arm Mad, as we call her.
Soft flex. It was a 40-footer. I think that's what you have to.
I think there was a ton of 40-footer.
Yep, you have to make
there.
you have to make that putt if you want this hole.
Unless you're Haley King.
Unless you're Haley King.
Must be nice.
Hole 6, 350 feet, and it is one of the hardest 350-foot par threes you'll play. Low ceiling, tight fairway, really, really sticky, brambly stuff on both sides. So if you do make a mistake and land one way or the other, it's really tough to scramble your par. You could throw anything from a mid-range up to a distance driver. I think something on the flippier side is the way to go. Hyzer flipping. It just depends on how aggressive you want to be here. And I think most people, though, are going to pull out a distance driver.
That looks laced from Haley. Also, you didn't talk about the Spike Hyzer play, did you?
No.
It's there.
But that was laced, but she's still, 50 feet.
Yeah, that's going to be the most typical result. Wow.
Get out of here.
I will not.
Haley
I'm going to stay and
wants
watch
it.
this. Forehand, interesting. It is more open on the right side of the tunnel.
Only 9 people landed in circle 2
Wow.
in regulation. So this is a really common play. If you've got the sidearm, that's great. And what's the Spike Hyzer we're talking about?
You throw through that notch in the trees right there that they cut out.
You can get over the tree?
Even I can get over the trees. And I can get into circle 2 there. And then as long as you throw high enough, there's no huge danger.
Oh, this hole wrecked everyone on my card today. Everyone.
Here it is.
Everyone bogeyed.
The difficulties you can see, you need to throw on the left side of the tee pad to hit that notch. That looks a little, is it early?
And
Remember how I said there's no trouble?
fine.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, well, that's better than most people are going to land, but
that's better than anywhere early. Anywhere.
I think it's the best way to get inside the circle.
Or just take out the having to scramble play.
Yeah, if you get caught up early in that tunnel, it can be really difficult.
I will look at that on Sunday because, oof,
Yeah,
this fairway
you will
is
land
brutal.
about 80 feet short of them in circle 2 short, probably.
That's fine.
Yeah, it is fine.
That's better.
Like I
than-
did it today.
Yeah, that's better than any of the bramble bushes. It's brutal. Brutal off
They
the
really
fairway.
did just trim that little window out just for that shot.
Yeah, only 2 people landed in circle 1 in regulation. So this is a tough one to get to. Boring.
Yawn.
Boring. Yay, slow mez. Look at
She
that
says
thing
boring.
wobble.
She has 3 birdies. And this is one that's an absolute bonus.
Wow. Yeah, there was only 4 birdies on this hole today.
Oh, I love her.
That's so good. We love a huge putt. See if Natalie can do it too.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. We've had Natalie hit front cage or nubs or whatever on long putts a few times today already.
That
So
was clean.
about time
Let's see
one
if
drops.
Ella can do it. I mean, Haley did it too. Wow.
I feel like that's the way you have to score on this hole, on this course.
Kristin actually pretty close. Nearly inside the circle, a few feet out. Kind of airs it to the right there.
Pars are fine out here. Ella makes good on her par as well. The only other birdie on the hole was Paige Pierce. Own now with a 2-stroke lead over Ella Hansen.
Snooze fest.
It's super boring.
Hole 7's another par 3, 340 feet. Got a few of those out here. Pretty much dead straight. That OB on the right doesn't really come into play. It's kind of nice not to really have to worry about the out of bounds. I like kind of the hyzer flip up to straight shot. These branches right here on the right that we're passing kind of get in the way if you end up turning something a little bit. I would say another one where a lot of the field is landing in circle 2.
Yeah, even though it says 340 and most people can reach that, it's uphill as well.
It's just it's dead straight. Mm-hmm. You can't really work side to side on the fairway.
And that last little ant mound. Owen's still going to flex something, even though we just said that you can't.
We didn't say you can't. I said there wasn't a lot of room, and she was right under those branches. Yeah. Natalie comes up pretty short there. Kristin following on and really turning it over, but she's in high.
Yeah, not a bad place to be at all. Ella, is she throwing a mid here?
Let me see.
Looks like it. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, S-line MD3.
Okay. Love that. Circle 2.
One of the best mid throwers we have in the game.
Natalie just kind of pitching up. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Full run.
Giving it a great bid. Own within range as well.
Comes up a little low there.
These 2 par 3s are both just kind of the story of long putts. This is pretty typical from what you're going to see on any card.
There's only maybe 2. Ooh, Kristin with a huge putt of her own. There's probably only 2 par 3s out here that you're thinking like, yeah, definitely a birdie, and the rest feel like bonuses. Most of the birdies are on the par 4s and 5s.
Yep. 8 people out of 47 competitors got into circle 1 for birdie on this one. A little more than the last hole, but still not very many.
Kristin moving to 3 down with that big putt. Ooh, Ella left with a weird stance here. Super wide straddle.
Not a great win for that either.
Yeah, that hill is steeper than... Oh. Ooh, yeah. She's outside circle 2.
Oh, man.
Prodigy.
We hate that.
Mm-hmm. Man, that really sailed. First real mistake we've seen from Ella. Or first costly one, anyhow. Ella gonna move to 1 down on the round with that bogey. Have you seen the new Star Wars movies? Kristin's hair just looks exactly like Rey's, and I've been trying to hold back, but everyone has to think that who have seen those movies.
Moving on to number 8, 401 feet. This one is really tough to get to. It's a par 3, but it's just far. I don't know what else to say. There's no out of bounds you have to worry about.
Except that OB green on the left, really far.
Yeah, really, really far. So you can open up here, but just the way the trees are, you can't.
So, great breakdown.
Thank you.
Real quick, I just want to announce a Patreon giveaway winner, Teresa Jomez. Congratulations. Giving away some kind of disc that I'm not sure what it is, but you're going to love it.
It's going to be so exciting.
Mm-hmm. Kristin landing, circle 2 again.
I mean,
honestly,
lot of
these par 3s in the middle stretch of the front are just this. Oh, Kind of bounced way down for Own, but gets some ground play.
These holes are kind of funny. It takes a lot of focus to keep playing these par threes where you're kind of just giving yourself long circle 2 putts.
Yeah. It's
You're
like, man, that's the best I could have thrown it. And then you're in circle 2.
Yeah.
Natalie, that has to be. Is she the only one who landed inside the circle? I would bet she is.
See.
Watch Ella do it right now.
Only 2 people did land inside the circle.
Ella with her Metal Flake FD gets that circle 2 look, it seems like. Who else got it? Or, well, landed there. Wait, don't tell me.
You can't. You
I don't want
can't
to spoil
tell
anything.
You can't tell who landed there.
Yes, you can. Just believe. Just close your eyes. Summit it.
This
looked like a layup from Kristin.
Yeah, well, it's a weird. If you haven't played many practice rounds out here, this is a weird one to run because it looks like it drops off behind the basket, but you can't really tell because you're down a little, at the base of a hill. So it feels like a chaotic one to run. Own.
Great putt. Natalie for the rare birdie.
Lots of chains, but it doesn't stick.
Little left side.
Only 6 people even got a circle 2 in regulation.
Name them.
I will name the one birdie because that's the only thing I can, and it was Hannah Blomers.
Ooh, congrats, Hannah. That's obviously a very good one.
Yep, 70% of the field taking a par on this one. Kind of a weird hole.
Boring.
Boring.
That's the word you're looking
Yep.
for. But not own boring.
Not own boring.
Actually boring.
Not exhilarating boring.
Yeah, look at her. She can't be boring if she tried. Owen still leading the way, 2 strokes over Kristin, who is 1 stroke over Ella. And rounding it out. And, well, I thought it was a par 5. It's a par 4, 759
it's a hard
feet.
par 4.
Yeah, it is a tough par 4. We'll probably see some 3s, though. Mando on the right, that doesn't super come into play. There is an OB green that can come into play on your second shot. First shot, you're just trying to stay in bounds. The left side can come into play if you hyzer too much, but not a ton. The real teeth of the hole is in this weird... What is this? What is this weird water channel full of turtles? What do you call this? You want to avoid.
It looks like kind
that.
of postmodern architecture.
Yeah. So yeah, avoid the art, but it really is. It's right on the green. I mean, in circle 2, kind of wrapping a right angle around the basket. Kristin with a great shot there. It'll be interesting to see how many ladies really try to go for the pin on the second. I think most of the play is going to be kind of short left, where the water isn't.
The drive, it's really going to set the tone for the rest of the hole. If you bite off a lot from the tee, your options open immensely on what you can do with the rest. But if you don't get big distance off the tee shot, or you go out of bounds, or any of those things, all of a sudden you're kind of scraping by just to get your par, and you're probably looking at a bogey.
Yeah, I think that tree saved Natalie. It was a headwind here, and we really didn't have too much wind in practice. Wow, that's huge from Ella.
Massive. Unfortunately, though, on that left side, it makes the green pretty blind.
Yeah, whereas you can see Owen can probably just barely see the flag. You think she's going for it? If she's not, this is a very intense layup. Oh, no, it's good. Okay, I thought it was a little farther.
Yeah, that was a great layup.
Yeah.
And she'll be able to see the green. It's still not easy. Look, she's still got to go through this little gap and lay it down softly, because you can so easily flare skip into that right side architecture.
I like that Natalie's trying to work around the left side where there's land. Oh, wow.
So good.
Yeah.
Such a technical shot.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Kristin opting for the backhand, more of a hyzer. And again, this is kind of what you're going to see fading out away from the basket. It's safer. It's definitely a par.
Yeah, not like that wasn't quite a full committed go at it, but
it's hard to. If you get caught up in one of those trees, it'll dunk you right in the water. Ella,
and you might not get your disc back.
Yeah, God, it looks like she's in danger here. Wow.
Okay, backboard.
Risky.
Gotta call it.
Love it. Gotta call it. Ooh. Oh. Oof.
All right.
Yeah. Doesn't really choose a gap, but makes it work.
Kristin with a really long putt, but just lays it up, and that's a smart play here.
Lead card lady's doing work on this hole, though.
Three people got to circle 1 in regulation. Only 7 got to circle 2.
Yeah. Most of the women playing it like Own did.
Mm-hmm. This is another one of those holes where a lot of people are just playing it for par and not trying to get there.
Mm-hmm. Weird to see. Usually when you see tweeners, they're like 3 to 4. You don't see a lot of tweener 4 to 5s.
Mm-hmm.
It is too short for a par 5.
Yeah. I had two putts for birdie on my card as well. There's a couple putts for birdie here.
Dang. Okay.
Yep. Only 3 on the day, though, on that one. Ella Hansen, Kat Merch, and Natalie Ryan. We got to watch 2.
Haley King doing work 5 down through 9. That's pretty amazing. Owen still leading the way, followed by Kristin, then Ella. Natalie Ryan moving down to 5th under Haley. Let's see. Valerie Mandujano, 2 down, a couple 1 downs. Definitely hot scores at the top.
Yeah, everyone else kind of hovering around that even par to be in the top 10. And I didn't want to make a projection, but I felt like a 3 or a 4 over was going to be about the middle of the pack. That's what it seemed like. But
my guess was like 5 over would be a great round out here.
Yeah. But it seems like
5 under.
Yeah. Oh, 5 under.
5 under would be like, I think it's possible, but so difficult.
Yeah, 3 under, 5 under, somewhere in there. But we got 9 more holes. Come hang out with us. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 hot geese. Honk.